Take me in your arms, rescue me. I want you to take me a chance, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you, you're there to come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, rescue me. Come on, baby, rescue me. 'Cause I need you by my side. Can't you see that I'm lonely? Rescue me. Come on and take my heart. Do take your love, come take the red heart. 'Cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you, you're there to come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, rescue me. Come on, baby, rescue me. 'Cause I need you by my side. Can't you see that I'm lonely? You still got it. Rescue me. Take me in your arms, rescue me. I want you to take me a chance, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you, you're there to come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, take me.
Right, we all know each other now. Right, I'd like to extend a special warm welcome to the wives and girlfriends. Good evening, ladies. Thanks for bringing a bit of glamour to the occasion tonight. I will tell you when this idea for a presentation evening was first muted, and this is with the first round of applause of the evening. The whole idea and the whole push for putting this event on was by Mr. John Meyer, sat at the back there. John's been a driver behind this, but I'll be honest, when he came to the committee a while ago and he had this idea of putting this event on, and we weren't sure how popular it was going to be. So we sent out some flyers to the lads at the football club and asking them would they be interested if we put on a presentation evening, would they come along and support it? And we're going to open it up to wives and girlfriends. And 3 of the replies came back, do I have to bring both? So just be aware of who you sat with tonight, girls. You might be sat with the enemy, I'm not sure. But and to the wives and girlfriends now, has anybody seen my act before?
Yeah, sadly.
Sadly.
That's why my name's up in chalk. Well, I have been known to drop the occasional F-bomb. So I'll apologise in about look at John Meyer. He's going to say, shit, he's going to be blue, he's going to be blue. I'll try to be on my best behaviour tonight. Because I had a terrible gig last night. I was in Burnley last night. Has anybody been to Burnley? Yeah. Oh, it's a special place, it's Burnley. Bloody hell, special place. I walked on stage. I said, good evening, it's nice to be here in Burnley. And 200 people said, it ain't, we live here, dickhead, get on with it. But it's nice to be here in Alderthorpe. And last night's gig it was a terrible gig. It was one of them sex dungeon clubs. There were whips and chains and bondage and gimp masks, tubes of longer harder cream all over the bloody place. It was terrible. And I'm just thinking, Rossi, it's funny seeing you 2 nights on track. But I've a sad announcement now for the lads at the football club. You might not be seeing much of me now down at the club because I've applied for a new job today. I saw a job advertised, wanted lion tamer in a travelling circus. I thought, that's the job for me. Bit of showbiz, bit of travel, bit of excitement, I'm on for that. So I applied for a job, I went for an interview today. And this bloke said to me, he says, have you tamed lions before? Because they were from Wakefield, this bloke. He says, have you tamed lions before? I says, no, but you show me what to do, won't you? He says, yeah. He says, well, you go in cage, and we've got 6 big African lions. He says, and they'll come in cage, and we'll give you a whip and a chair to defend yourself. I says, is that all? I says, what happens if one of the lions come charging towards me? And he says, you take a step back, pick the chair up and defend yourself. Defend yourself at all times with that chair. But I'll warn you, he said, you might be panicking, your hand will be a bit sweaty, you might drop the chair. I says, what do I do if I drop the chair? If you drop the chair, he says, take another step back and pick the whip up and give them a crack. They don't like that. So I says, but he says, you'll be panicking even more now. That hand might be a bit sweaty, you might drop the whip. I says, so I've dropped the chair and I've dropped the whip. What do I do then? He says, take another step back. By this time, your back should be to the cage. Just gently slide down the back of the cage and pick a piece of shit up and throw it at lions. They don't like that. I says, what if there's no shit? Oh, he says, there will be. So we've talked about elephants. Sorry, we've talked about lions. We're going to talk about elephants now. The elephant in the room is, most of the guys down at the club know that I suffer with Parkinson's disease. But I'd like to mention it to you because whenever I'm on stage, I do occasionally look a bit wobbly from time to time, and I get sympathy from the ladies. In fact, there's a couple down here, when I walked on stage, Julie said, don't he look like Donny Osmond? So I get a bit of sympathy from the ladies. No, I don't get none from the blokes at the club. Masha, I dodge past most of them. I'm better than most of them. And one of the symptoms, one of the side effects of Parkinson's is people who suffer with Parkinson's, we have muscle memory loss. That means sometimes your face can look a bit dour, a bit saggy, a bit as if we're sad. But don't worry, because inside I'm having a party. But and I only saw my neurologist a couple of weeks ago, and he said, Andy, he says, I can tell you that your Parkinson's has progressed because you've stopped smiling. I said, I've stopped smiling. She should tell me I've got Parkinson's. But having Parkinson's is not all bad. Not all bad at all. In fact, only in this very club, about 3 weeks ago, they had a disco dancing competition, and I was stood down here on the dance floor talking to my mates, and I got into the final. Thanks for laughing. We've got a special guest with us tonight, Mr. John McClellan, ex-Leeds United footballer. John McClellan's going to present the prizes a little later on. Thanks for being with us, John. And I've got a few words to read out about John here. John McClellan, former professional footballer who had a 23-year career playing for several teams, including Cardiff City, Mansfield Town, Watford, Notts County, Rangers, and the Super Leeds United! In fact, looking at this list, he's had more clubs than Tony Jacklin. But he was playing at Leeds when they won the First Division title in 1992, beating another team to the title. I hardly dare say it. We bet Manchester United to the title! Yay! And he played alongside such footballing greats as Mel Sterland, Derek Batty, Gary Speed, Gordon Strachan, Lee Chapman, and Eric O.R. Cantona. And he also achieved international success representing his country, Northern Ireland, in not one but 2 World Cups. And tonight he's reached the pinnacle of his career, presenting awards to a set of old farts who all think they're Bobby Charlton. We couldn't have a Wakefield Walking Football event without mentioning 1 or 2 people. And the one man in this room around which the whole club revolves. Will you give a big round of applause for Mr. Niall O'Donnell? It wasn't until I joined the committee that I found out and realised how much work he actually puts in. He puts a tremendous amount of work in, does Niall, and he's a great man to have running the biggest part of this club world, and we're lucky to have him. And we're lucky to have him here tonight because he's had a stressful day today, Niall, haven't you? Is it alright if I tell him?
Tell me what it is.
Is it alright if I tell him?
Yeah, go on, you might as well.
Well, people who know Niall, if you know him closely, you'll know he's a very religious man. And he's a member of the committee in his local church. And they've recently had to sack their vicar because he'd been fraternising with the lady parishioners. Been having an affair with 2 or 3 of them. So they've sacked him, gone out of town, he's gone. And they've been interviewing today for a new vicar. And they had 10 candidates come for the job. And the church committee decided we don't want any more of that sexual innuendo messing about with lady parishioners. So we're going to go take a step from left side here. We're going to interview all these vicars stark bollock naked. There were 10 of them lined up with no clothes on whatsoever. Apart from the committee tied a little bell to the todger. And then into the hall came Mrs. Blenkinsop, one of the lady parishioners, and she stark bollock naked and all. And she cavorted in front of this row of vicars, not a single tinkle from any bell. Till she got to the end one, and all of a sudden there were ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling. Out. Get him out. He's gone. He's out of town. They kicked him out. He's not getting the job. And as he was leaving the village hall, his bell fell off his todger. And Niall, being the ever helpful man that he is, ran across, bent over to pick the bell up, and all the other 9 bells went ding-a-ling-ling-ling. But you got over it now, Niall, haven't you? Is he sat on the cushion? I saw my mate in hospital today. I says, how you doing, Charlie? He says, I'm not so bad. He sat on a big cushion. I says, what's up? He says, I've been in to see a doctor, and he says, I've got the worst case of piles he's ever seen. I says, is that why you sat on a beanbag? He says, Andy, I am not sat on a beanbag. Right, you can't have an event about Wakefield Walking Football is synonymous with 2 words. Not honesty and integrity, trying and endeavour. 2 other words. Heart attacks. We're quite good at having heart attacks now that we've had 3 in the past. But we've been even better at getting the people mended and getting them all right. And we've got one of the latest survivors. In fact, apparently, Wakefield Walking Football. If you're going to have an heart attack in Wakefield, get yourself down to Wakefield Walking Football because you've got a good chance of survival. And we've got our latest survivor, John McCarthy. Where are you, John? Oh, there he is. When John had his heart attack, about 6-8 months ago, John, wasn't it?
Over a year.
A year ago. Well, I went to the hospital where John was in LGI, and he'd just come back. He'd had an operation, he had a procedure, he'd had some stents fitted, and he was laid in his bed. And he's laid in bed with an oxygen mask on. And a nurse came up, she said, how are you doing, John? He said, have my testicles got back? She says, I'm not catching that, John. I'm not with you having an oxygen mask on, I'm not catching it. He says, have my testicles got back? She says, I don't know, John, I'll have a look. And she ripped his covers off. Oh no, she says. You've got a lovely pair of testicles, they haven't gone black, John. They're nice and pink and firm, they're lovely, them, John. You should be proud of them. In fact, she says, I think if you were my husband, I'd call you golden balls. So she said, and John took his mask off. He says, have my test results come back? So don't let the odd heart attack put you off. Because what's the alternative of not playing football? Sitting at home watching bloody Countdown all afternoon. Has anybody seen that Countdown? Well, I was watching it today. It's a word programme. There's a young girl on it called Rachel Riley. She does the Carol Vorderman bit. She gets on it and she's bloody gorgeous. Ooh, she's bloody gorgeous. And I was watching it this afternoon, and I don't mind telling you, I got aroused. It's not bad, that's 7 letters, isn't it? Another prominent member of the club, John Rookie Rook. Where's Rookie tonight? There he is. Oh, they're all on that table.
Oh, yeah.
John, and is it all right if I tell what happened to you last year, John? John had a bit of trouble last year. We're going on a family holiday down to Benidorm, and we're going about an hour into the flight, and the captain come on the tannoy. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry, but we've developed a problem with the plane. One of the engines has gone down. But don't worry, this plane can manage on one engine. We'll have to lower the altitude a bit, but we'll get you down into Alicante nice and safe, don't worry." Well, there was a mild rumour of panic throughout the cabin, as you can imagine. 20 minutes later, the captain come back on. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid we've developed another problem. The other engine's gone down. So we've no alternative, but I'm going to have to ditch in the sea. But please don't worry, because the crew are fully trained in this procedure. We've got life rafts, safety jackets, safety harnesses for the children. We'll get you all out nice and safely. Please don't worry. And we'll get you all out nice and safely." Well, as the plane's going down, then there was a massive panic throughout the cabin. And this woman stood up. She says, "We're all going to die. We're all going to die. Help me. We're all going to die." And she ripped her dress off. She said, "Somebody come and make me feel like a woman." And Rookie stood up. He ripped his shirt off. He says, "Here, iron that." Right. I'm getting fed up with hearing my own voice now. So I'll just give you a rundown of what's going to be happening tonight. Just immediately now, we're going to present the first 5 awards. If we've got Stan, the photographer, Stan Bulmer is... Stanley, could you come down and we're going to present the first 5 awards. And if John McLennan would like to come down and present the awards to the lucky recipients. We're going to present the first 5 awards, then we're going to open the buffet, then we're going to have a set from the band, and then another short break, and another 5 awards. So only be 10 awards in total. Right, the first award is for the 40 plus, and by the way, I've got to mention that Stan, you'll recognise Stan. Stan, stop running Bulmer. This is testament to what this guy is. He's come tonight, he's a professional photographer, Stan. Come tonight, offered his services free of charge, and he insisted on buying 2 tickets. I think that's worth a round of applause.
Yeah, okay.
So, just we go a bit further. So, like I say, Stan, he even insisted on buying 2 tickets. Well done, Stan, for that. It's a pity you haven't won out, isn't it? I'm just going to hand the microphone over to Mr. John McLennan now. I'd like to say a few words to you. John McLennan!
Thank you. 1986 was 100 years since the Football League was formed. And there's going to be a special game at Wembley, the Football League versus the rest of the world. Bobby Robson was going to manage the league team, and Terry Venables was going to manage the rest of the world. The team that day that started was Peter Shilton, Kenny Sampson, Paul McGrath, Richard Goff, Brian Robson, Liam Brady, Ozzy Ardiles, Clive Allen, Peter Beardsley, Chris Waddle, and myself. Now, 12 or 14 years later, I'm playing Sunday morning 11-a-side, open age amateur football for a local team. Some of you might have played from the Cliff Tree pub. So George Lister was the manager, and I enjoyed playing for them. And 12 to 14 years later, I'm told there's a group of people doing this new thing, which is the walking football. And there's a Monday, Wednesday and Friday session Monday and Wednesdays, more social Fridays for the teams that play in tournaments. And I was asked if I'd be interested in just coming down. And I went, well, not really. But I came down and enjoyed the company of the guys. So I started playing the walking football for a few years and enjoyed also playing for them. Now it could be said one of those teams that I mentioned were a lot better than the other two teams. I'll leave it for you to decide which was the teams. But I know we're here tonight and I was asked to come and I said, you know, those three teams have so much in common even though you wouldn't think so. One was top professionals, one was 11-a-side Sunday, and then the 6-a-side. But I said, all three groups had one thing asked of them. Bring a pair of boots, bring your shin pads. If you're not a dirty bugger, bring a towel. And that was it. And behind the scenes, you know, the footballers get praised, but behind the scenes there's so much goes on to make any football club successful. We're told, all three groups are told, turn up. Okay, you go in the changing room, you're handed a shirt, you're handed your shorts, you're handed socks. Okay, we're going out to warm up. Footballs are there, first aid kits are there, referees are set up, you play a tournament, and afterwards there's usually a pub to go to, and there could be food put aside. So much goes on outside the football pitch. A lot of good work with good people goes on to make it possible for all the footballers to bring a pair of boots, to bring a shin pad, and to bring a towel. So when I was told what was happening, I thought this is great because behind the scenes there's so much goes on to help all of us who play football to actually just come and play football. So that's why I decided to come tonight, because 90% goes on behind the scenes and we just turn up and play the football and enjoy ourselves. So that's why I'm here tonight.
Thank you very much. John McLennan. Right, without further ado, get on with the first award. Put the bins on. Right, this first award is for the 40 plus category. And are you going in? All the best, old cock. See you later.
He's had enough. I'll begin
I'll get him on his way back. And it's been nominated by the manager of that age group, which is a man called by the name of, most of you know, Glenn Andrews. Glenn is away on holiday in South Africa at the moment. But by the wonders of satellite, we're going to flick over to South Africa now. Oh, sorry, I'm getting in here, satellite's gone down. So Glenn has sent a few words through about the man he's nominated. This player joined Wakefield about 3 years ago as a decent keeper, but due to Atletico having a plethora, you can tell Glenn went to bloody grammar school, can't you? A plethora of good keepers, it was hard to get him a game. So he was snapped up by the Redoubt team, where he has continued to improve and is now the IWFF England keeper. He was superb playing for England 40 plus side at the WFA National Finals, where he won all 6 games, but we have constant difficulty getting him to the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Mr. Paul Hawes! No running, Paul, no running. Well done.
Get the beers in.
Now the second age group is the 50 plus age group, and we're going to ask the manager who looks after the 50 plus age group Mr. Dave Oliver, would you come down and say a few words about the person you've nominated? Come down, Dave. We've got a scanner on these stairs for you to get. Are you going to come up here? Yeah. They're going to say a few words about who you nominated. Just watch the wires, Dave.
Hello everybody, yes, everybody that puts a shirt on, be it 50s, 60s or whatever, gives 100% for a team. We know that, and as a manager I'm always grateful for that. There's a lot of talent out there, and I'm really, really lucky to have a bunch of really talented guys. So when I was asked to find somebody that is heads and shoulders above the rest, it's very difficult, because in different positions people have their own, skill set. But then on reflection, thinking about it, there was one person this year, and really into last year and into this year, that I think deserves this award, because not only is this person very skillful, very influential on the pitch, somebody that everybody looks up to, somebody that I can rely on, not just on the competition side, but also on the training. He gives absolutely everything. His distribution, his first touch, his control and management of the game is absolutely first class. He's represented not only myself, but when we have a combined team with Redoubt, he's one of the first people that's on that team sheet as well. And for someone that's come in 2 years ago, I think that's absolutely deserving of this award. So without further ado, the person that I've nominated for the 50 plus is Mr. Paul Slight.
Hey, come on, Paul, lad.
Well done, Paul. Is Chris around? Chris Humphries, will you come down and present your award, Chris? Chris Humphries, the next award is the 60 plus award, and Chris Humphries is going to come down and Chris is the man who looks after the 60 plus team. He's going to come down and just say a few words about his nominee for this award. Just watch them wires, Chris.
Keep still, Greg.
Hello ladies and gentlemen. I think most of you will know I'm the manager of Whites, which effectively is the 60s second team. I've been asked to do the player of 60s plus for the season, for the year. I did this a little differently than everybody else. I spoke to some of the finest players, 60s players in the club. I did say the finalists. You were next on the list. And some of the managers and officials. Now, I'll have to say that for a start off, we had a candidate that was well ahead, looked like it should be won hands down. But as we continued to get votes coming through, we had quite a large plethora of candidates that were brought forward, and in the end we got down to 3 that I think are worthy of mentioning. The first two I'm going to mention didn't quite get the award, but they were very close, and I think they're outstanding players and outstanding clubmen. Kim and Peter have both put up extraordinary performances for their sides, and I get to see them quite closely, so I think they were fair judges to be selecting those. But unfortunately, they weren't the winners in this occasion. The winner, and he's had an outstanding season, and he's one of our latest England internationals, goes to Philip Kelly.
Well done, Phil. Don't drop it, Phil. Well done, Phil. Now this is where it gets a bit difficult. Because the man who's nominated this next award, which is the 65 plus award, Mick Wilde, he's not going to come down and say a few words because he's on holiday. He's in India. Now, I'm sure most of you know India is a very dangerous place. They've got tigers that can kill you. Order salad. So, Mick's not here, so he can't present it. And the man who's nominated is not here. He's on his holidays in South Africa, so I'm going to go down and take the award. John's going to present the award to me. So Mick Wilde for the 65 plus has nominated Glyn Andrews as the winner, but I'll come down and take the prize.
Make a lovely couple.
Tell anybody to watch Wires. Right, and lastly, this is the last award for this section. Jeff Alloway is going to come down for the 70 plus age group, and he's going to say a few words about the person who he has nominated. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Alloway. Just watch them eyes, Jeff, don't do what I did.
Evening all. As you're probably aware, the 70s is a fairly new group of players this year. There's been odd ones before, but it's newly formed. To start with, we only had about 12, 13 players. As the years progressed, we've now got well over 25. So it's a big improvement, and next year I'm sure the choice will be a lot more difficult. But the person I'm awarding this trophy to, it's someone who's been there from the very start, and he scores quite a lot of goals. The popular player is Mr. Mike Thompson.
Well done, Mike.
Sorry.
Well done, lads. Right, that concludes the first part of the presentations. We're going to open the buffet now, and I've been told to mention there is a small section of gluten-free options for anybody who may have requested gluten-free as an option. There's a small section for you down here. So we're going to declare the buffet is now open, so come down and help yourselves to a bite to eat. And then in 5 or 10 minutes we're going to get the band on to do their first set. Thank you very much, see you soon. Please don't go away!
Now, it's like he's done that before. Now, I don't know if many of you know, but Andy's a fantastic trumpet player. Never mind a good host and compare. And careful now, Calvin, because he knows where you live. He does. But he's a fantastic trumpet player, and he's with this band for many, many years. Did you know this? Did you know? No, it's a surprise. It's a very big surprise. Well, tonight, and for one night only, he's going to join join us on stage this evening, and he's going to play a few tunes. Is that all right, you lot? You still got it? You still got it? Right. And he's only willing to play, obviously, if you cheer and holler really loud after the song, if that's all right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this first one we're going to do is a little bit of fun telebass. So if you fancy a dance, we've got that under your chair that Andy Gollop is going to play. So come on down, this is Rescue Me, here we go. Thank you, Neil. Come on, you lot. Let's get involved, here we go. Rescue me, oh take me in your arms, rescue me. I want you to take a chance, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you, you're there to come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, rescue me. Come on, baby, rescue me. 'Cause I need you by my side. Can't you see that I'm lonely? Rescue me. Come on and take my heart, do the do, take your love, come and red heart, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you, you're there to come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, rescue me. Come on, baby, rescue me. 'Cause I need you by my side. Can't you see that I'm lonely? You still got it. Rescue me, take me in your arms, rescue me. I want you to take a chance, 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you, you're there to come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, take me, take me, baby, oh, baby, baby, baby. Need you, baby. Can't you see that I'm lonely?
He's a most nominated by the committee. And when it come to naming a clubman of the year, we were undecided. So two men have been one in the frame, and we couldn't split them, so we decided to award them both the joint clubman of the year. Two guys have put a lot of time and effort into organising different age group sides. They weren't announced at the AGM, but would you give a big round of applause for Mr. Chris Humphreys and Dave Oliver? Chris, don't forget when you're on your photograph, okay? Turn and face, turn and face.
Jockey!
And this just goes to show how impartial we are as a club. These two guys have been nominated and won this award, and both of them are not even Yorkshiremen. I didn't vote for them myself, like, but they were. Well done, lads.
Well done. Who wants it? Who wants it?
Turn up face, turn up face. Right, now we come to the spirit of walking football. This is a man who gives Niall a tremendous tremendous amount of help backstage, so to speak. Counting the numbers, putting the bids out, and he's a fantastic all-round guy to have in the club. Ladies and gentlemen, the spirit of walking football is awarded to Mr. Alan Minto! Alan has the dubious honour, is the only man in the club who his wife irons his shirts over a walk. Was he laughing? I don't look at We've got another award. There's not necessarily football involved. And as I've been smooching around the room, I don't think I've seen him here tonight, but we're going to announce it anyway. The most improved player goes to Dave Higgins.
Yeah.
I'll take the trophy up for Dave. And then we have, like John McClellan referred to earlier on, a club like ours revolves around unsung heroes. And we have quite a few lads that go down to the Wakefield Walking to the football centre and do maintenance jobs around the place and try and keep it up to standards that we'd like it to be, and doing the best to keep it going for us. And so we have an unsung hero, Mr. David Law.
Get in there, David. Get in there, lad. Hey, get in there. He's running, What are you doing to him, Liz?
And last but by no means least, the final award of the evening goes to a man again. He's known for his football. Have you got me? He's known for his football skills, but we've decided to award him. There's two awards in world football: the Ballon d'Or and the Golden Boot. The Golden Boot's awarded to the man in the World Cup who scores the most goals, I believe. So we've had a trophy specially commissioned, and the award winner of this Golden Boot, the main event of the evening, Mr. Steve Zamuto!
Get in there, Steve.
If you come up here, Steve, just watch them ways, John, don't trip over the Steve's is a great man to have on your team, because chiefly there's a good chance he'll talk your opposition to death. And we have this award, this trophy, specially commissioned by one of the top jewellers in West Yorkshire. And the Golden Boot is awarded to Steve Zamuto. I think we'll have a countdown from 5, no, from 10 down to 1. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Steve Zamuto! Right, I think we're going to have the band back on now.
I'm jealous. Unsung hero. Nice is that. Nice is that.
Just as the band are coming back on and getting ready, I'll try and tell you a story. It's a story about a nun in a convent, and she goes to the Mother Superior And she says, Mother Superior, she says, I'm afraid I appear to have some rather bad news for you. She says, what's the matter, my child? She says, I fear I'm pregnant. She says, pregnant, my child? How could this be? She says, well, about a few months ago, I was walking down into town, and I came across one of the young monks that lives in the abbey. And he was very, very attractive, and I fell for him. He was quite a nice looking young man. And he asked to look at my lady garden. And I showed him. And he said, oh, he said, that's lovely, he said. That reminds me of the gates of heaven, the pearly gates. She says, does it really? He said, yes, it does. And then he whipped up his monk's habit. Dave, I'm telling a bloody joke here. It's a funny way to hand you notice in that, isn't it? She says, then he lifted up his monk's habit, and I could see this thing that was getting larger and larger and larger. And it can only be described as it looked like it was holding a satsuma at the end. And then he asked if he could put, he said, told me, the Lord Superior said, the lying swine, the lying swine. Yes, and then he approached me and he asked if he could put, he told me it was Gabriel's horn. No, he didn't. He said, can I put this in your lady garden? She said, well, if you must. So he did. And I think that's how I've become pregnant. She says, the lying swine, the lying, cheating swine. Mother Superior, she says, you seem to be rather upset about that. She says, I am upset. She says, he told me it would Gabriel's horn. I've been blowing it for 6 months. Right, I'm going to hand you over to these guys now. Thank you very much. I hope you haven't offended anybody.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Andy! What a wonderful host! We hope you had a fantastic evening. But now, I'm going to sing a few more songs for you. Hopefully, Tash wants this wonderful dance now. If you can have the house lights down whenever anybody's ready, that would be perfect. Thank you very much. And this one's going to be a little bit of Jackie Wilson. This is Higher and Higher. To be falling, just keeps lifting higher, lifting me higher and higher. I said your love, it won't lift me higher and higher. Now once I was down, disappointment was my closest friend, but then you came with somebody. No, you never to please